Everybody, it's Nikki. Welcome back to the channel. Today we have a bit of a change of venue. As you can see, we're in my library, which I thought was really appropriate because today we're doing the rapid fire book tag. Now, I saw this from a Dash of Ash, and I believe she got it from a girl reading. I don't know if this is where the tag originated from. I will link a Dash of Ash and a girl reading in the description box below so you can check out their videos and their channels. But I thought this would be a really fun tag to do. I know it's like a year old, but I thought it would be really great for you guys to get to know a little bit about me and my reading habits. And if you guys want to participate, then please leave your answers in the comment section below. I tag anybody who wants to do this video to join in as well. So without further ado, let's get started. First question, ebook or physical book? I was very adamantly anti-ebook for a very, very long time, but that's kind of changed. Now, I prefer physical book to answer the question. I will always prefer physical books. I am a very tactile person. I love the feel, the smell of an actual book in hand, but I do appreciate ebooks more than I did initially. I am still, and I think I always will be, old school and prefer a hard copy of a book in hand. Question number 2, a paperback or hardback? While I prefer hardback for display purposes, I have plenty of them on the shelf behind me. They're beautiful. I love them, but I prefer paperback. I like to fold my pages. Now, I know you can do that in hardback, but I like to flip a cover back, and it's just easier for me to grip and to read. It's a lot more comfortable. I don't know. There's just something about a paperback book and the feeling of it in my hands. It's just easier to read and to hold. I prefer them for reading purposes, but I like hardbacks for display. But if I had to choose between the two, it's going to be a paperback. Question number 3, online or in-store shopping? Definitely in-store. I'm that way for just about everything. While I love and appreciate the convenience of online shopping, I appreciate customer service. I appreciate people. I love being in a bookstore, and a bookstore for me specifically is a very therapeutic place. There's just something about being there and feeling the books and picking them up and looking at the covers and reading the synopses and just checking it out. I just love being in a bookstore, so I would much rather buy them in person. Next question, trilogy or series? I myself prefer a good trilogy. Actually, I prefer a good standalone, but given the choice between a trilogy or a series, trilogy, definitely. I like the fact that there is a definitive beginning, middle, and end. Not to say you don't have that in series, but I love a good series, don't get me wrong, but I read them more when I had more time. And that, I think, is the thing. I am very pressed for time. I have a lot of hobbies, a lot of things I'm into. I work a full-time job. I do YouTube as a hobby very inconsistently, as you can see. And there just isn't enough time for that, and then friends and family and other things. So for me now, mostly because of time, I think that I prefer trilogy. But I do love a good series. I appreciate it. But I also feel like it's easy to get lost and not really know where the story is going and drag it out for too long. So I tend to prefer the trilogy. Next question, heroes or villains? You guys know I love me a good villain. I prefer villains. I don't know. I think there's something about a hero's journey, but I don't know, there's just something about a good bad guy. It's easy to get stock heroes, it's easy to get stock villains, but when you have a really good villain, that sucks me in, that draws me. I want to know what is so fucked up, what happened to make them that way. I think, sympathize and feel more connected to villains than I do to heroes. And if you can give me a good anti-hero, that's even better. A book you want everybody to read. Okay, so I actually have two. I'm going to name a comic book and I'm going to name a book as well. The comic book is The Silencer, issue number 1. I talked about this in my recent Midtown Comics haul. I'll link that in the cards above. But this is incredible, you guys. This is part of their new age of heroes. Oh my gosh, we have some diversity, we have some strong badass women, we have some amazing, appearances by old DC characters. It's just such a great start to a whole new era of DC Comics, and I'm super excited about it. My book pick is gonna be Furiously Happy by Jenny Lawson. You guys might know her as the Bloggess. She runs an amazingly funny blog. It is an amazingly intense and funny and just incredible story about mental illness, depression, anxiety. But even if you don't personally experience any of that, it's still a really relatable read, and it made me laugh, it made me cry, and I think it will make you a more compassionate human being. So I definitely recommend this for anybody and everybody. Okay, recommend an underrated book. The comic book that I recommend is Zodiac Star Force. This is an amazing book, and I am hoping that one day we get a volume 2. It's like Jem meets the Lumberjanes. It's a story about friendship and girl power, and it's so well done. It's so colorful. This is some of the artwork inside. It's just really, really fun. It's very like 80s-esque and like total girl power. I love it. I think it's really underrated. Definitely do recommend. And I don't know if this qualifies as an underrated book, but it's certainly an older book, and I love this author. This is I Am Not a Serial Killer by Dan Wells. This is a young adult book. They did make it into a movie, which is actually really, really good, with Christopher Lloyd. This is the story about John Wayne Cleaver. It's just him and his mom. They run a morgue. He is in high school, and he is a psychopath, and he is wrestling with himself to not become a serial killer. He doesn't want to be, but he has those urges and those tendencies. So there's some really, really, really fascinating psychological stuff. There's a little bit of supernatural stuff in this story, and it's just really messed up but fun at the same time, and I do recommend the movie version as well. The last book you finished, the last comic I finished was Dark Knight's Metal issue number 5. You can see here. You guys know I talk about this series all the time on my channel. Love this one. And I don't have the book that I finished on hand because I actually listened to it in audio, and that was My Husband's Wife by Jane Corey, I believe. And that was actually technically a DNF. I did not finish it, mostly because it wasn't what I thought I was promised. I didn't connect with any of the characters. I didn't really care about the plot, to be quite honest. But I was not a fan, but that was the last one that I finished. What was the last book you bought? I actually have a bunch of books on pre-order, but the last book that I bought was the Jurassic Park Little Golden Book. Yes, I know it's a kid's book, but I am obsessed with, well, one, Little Golden Books, but definitely Jurassic Park. I just thought it was really fun to have in the collection. I'm a collector, what can I say? Next question, weirdest thing you've ever used as a bookmark? Oh, I don't think I've really used a lot of weird things as bookmarks. Usually just like scraps of paper, or if I don't have one on hand, again, I'm that like monster who will fold down the corner of the page to marker spots. So, okay, next question. Used books, yes or no? Definitely. And the older the book, the better. Yeah, I'm a fan. Next question, top 3 favorite genres. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of cheat because I'm gonna mash some genres, or I guess subgenres into genres, but I would definitely say like dystopia, apocalyptic. Love, love, love some dystopia. I would say fantasy is another one for sure. And then the third one would be mystery / thriller. I love those stories, and they're actually some of my favorite books to listen to on audio. So yeah, I love a good mystery or thriller. Borrow or buy? Definitely buy. I am a huge advocate of libraries, and I will borrow when I can. In fact, for audiobooks, I don't buy, I borrow through my library. So I kind of do a mix of both, but for actual physical books for reading, I just prefer to buy. Next question, character or plot? If you don't give me good characters that I can connect to, then the story is kind of meh. And again, I've had books where I don't love the characters, but I kind of like them, but you know, the plot keeps me going, and so I do really appreciate a good plot-driven book, but I guess if I had to pick, it would be character-based. Although I don't underestimate or don't dislike plot-driven books if the plot is really, really good and the characters are just okay. Long or short books? For time's sake, short, but I do love a good long book as long as you can keep me engaged. But we'll go with short, although really it doesn't matter if the book is good. I don't care how long it is or how short it is. Long or short chapters? Short chapters, and lots of them, just because it makes me feel like I'm getting through the book even quicker. Name the first 3 books you can think of. Animal Farm, Hunger Games, oh gosh, World War Z. Books that make you laugh and or cry. Oh gosh. Anything about a dog, specifically a dog dying, is going to make me cry. So I try to avoid those books. But one that was really good but really intense was A Dog's Purpose. And then Furiously Happy by Jenny Lawson made me do both. Our world or fictional worlds? Sometimes it feels like our world is a fictional world, specifically a really horrible dystopia, but definitely fictional world. Why not a fictional world? Audiobooks, yes or no? Definitely. I highly recommend audiobooks, and if you are somebody who says audiobooks are not for me, I'm going to tell you, you just haven't found the right book or the right reader. But I do love a good audiobook, specifically a good mystery or thriller or fantasy. High fantasy, love high fantasy in audio. I definitely recommend them. I love them. And if you want some good audiobook recommendations, or you want to know some of my favorite narrators, then let me know in the comments below and maybe I can do a video or recommend something to you. Next question. Do you ever judge a book by its cover? Yes. Okay, book to movie or book to TV adaptation? I actually don't think I watch a ton of book to TV adaptations, so I would say book to movie adaptations. I think there are a ton of really good ones, so yeah, I guess book to movie. Next question, a movie that you preferred to the book? Ooh, that's hard. Usually I like them about equally, or I like the book better. Very rarely do I prefer the movie to the book, although I will say if I know that there's a book I want to read and a movie's coming out, I will wait and watch the movie first, because that usually does not affect my opinion of the book, but the book will usually affect my opinion of the movie, if that makes any sense. I would say I think that The Maze Runner, I liked the movie a lot, but in the book itself, I love the concept, I love the side characters. It's just the two main characters really bothered me. I thought they were super annoying and whiny, and I couldn't stand them. And so I think they got rid of all of that in the movie, and I actually preferred that better and just enjoyed it more. And we're down to the last question, series or standalones? Standalones. I just one and done. As much as I love universes and world building and I love a good, drawing it out, if you can just give me like one and done and do it well, like I love it. There's so many books and not enough time to read them all. So that is it for this rapid fire book tag. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. I know it's something a little new and different. If you guys like tag videos and you want to see more bookish content and you like this video, make sure you click that thumbs up button, and also don't forget to subscribe so that you get notified when I post new videos. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!